Hey guys, Extremely Average Man here, and in today's video, well, I guess this is becoming a little bit of a series. I've already done dyeing ACU brown, I've done green, and I figured today I'd try out tan. And thinking on it, I figured this would be a perfect video to kind of compare all three, as these are some of the more common colors that you would dye some surplus gear. And speaking of gear, here's some of the stuff we'll be dyeing. I've got a couple of these FLC flick chest rigs, and about a bunch of these double mag pouches. So, if you don't know already, I'm a huge proponent of ACU camouflage, really for a few reasons. Yeah, it's ugly, it's grandma's couch camouflage, but let's be honest, it's some of the newest surplus gear that you can buy. You know, we're looking at 2000s, 2010s. A lot of this stuff is unissued, so you can get it really good condition. Doesn't smell like mothballs. And B, it's dirt cheap because nobody wants it. You know, compared to M81 woodland camouflage, you know, it's becoming a lot harder to find. And if you're looking at, you know, good condition, unissued stuff, I mean, you're paying premium prices. And let's be honest, it's becoming vintage at this point. A lot of times when you do find it, it's pretty rough or smells like mothballs or something like that. So yeah, ACU's ugly, but all it takes is a $4 or $5 bottle of RIT dye, and you can seriously transform it into something useful and something that'll match your environment wherever you are in the US or overseas, I guess. And just to prove my point about ACU being dirt cheap, I've got two of these flick chest rigs, $23 shipped. These double mag pouches, box of 30 for $20. And of course, all this stuff utilizes the Molly system. So yeah, that's gonna be today's video. We're gonna do tan, but also brown and green, and kind of compare all three. Let's see what happens. Now for the preparation, there's several ways you can do this, but just overall, basically what you're doing is boiling water, putting dye in, and then putting your stuff in and kind of mixing it for like 30 minutes. Ideally, you do this over the stove and you have a big like 3 or 5 gallon steel pot. I'm not really that fortunate, but what I do have is a camping stove to heat, and I got a couple basic pots that will heat up. All right, now to portion everything out. And for that, we're gonna be looking at the back of our RIT dye instructions. So right here, it says 4 ounces you'll need 3 gallons of boiling hot water. And just to make easy math, and because I have a small amount, we're just gonna be dyeing a flick in 5 of these double mag pouches. So we're gonna be focusing on about 2.5 gallons of water, or about 3 ounces of dye. And looking at our 5 gallon bucket, we just need to fill that about halfway with boiling water and add our stuff. And the other thing you need to add, and this will help the dye adhere to the fabric, you're adding either vinegar, salt, or detergent to help this adhere to the fabric. And because the surplus gear has a large presence of rayon, we're gonna be focusing on the salt. I think they say like, was it a cup of salt for 3 gallons? Well, I don't have a whole lot of salt, so we're just gonna be using half a cup and hope for the best. And they also say you should like wash your fabric. You know, there's probably dirt, especially being surplus, it's probably got dirt and crap on it. Am I gonna do that? Absolutely not. Am I gonna measure stuff out perfectly? Absolutely not. We're gonna be using our Mark 1 eyeball. All right, so to recap, we're gonna be doing 2.5 gallons of boiling hot water into the bucket. We're gonna be adding half a cup of salt, and we're gonna be adding about 3 ounces or almost half of the dye in order to dye our gear. All right, let's go. And of course, add the salt. salt. Half a thing of dye. Make sure you shake it up well before pouring it in. Pouches and flip. Alright, now after you let your stuff dye and you agitate it for 30 to 60 minutes, next step, obviously you're going to want to empty your bucket and dump out all the excess dye. But I recommend going to a bathtub or if you have a large sink or something. And we're going to just run cold water through all the fabric and stuff and like squeeze out any excess dye. You want to do that until the water dripping off of it runs clear. That way you don't have any excess dye, and when you go to wear it, you don't have it bleed off on you. Alright. This is how it turned out, at least initially. It's not too bad, actually. And just know, when you run cold water over this, and you let it dry, it's going to be a little bit lighter than you see it right now. But overall, kind of liking this color. It's actually pretty inside out. Now you get the idea. Now, once you're done leaching out any extra dye that may be in your camouflage, now you just got to put it up someplace to dry. Now, if it's wintertime and it's 10 degrees outside, I'd recommend just putting it in front of a box fan. But if it's spring through fall, sunny outside and above freezing, I'd recommend just putting it outside to dry. Also, if your neighbors catch you drying your camouflage outside, this provides an excellent opportunity to inform them of the joys and wonder that is dyeing the universal camouflage pattern. Next dye up is going to be dark brown. And again, we'll be doing one more flick and 5 more of these mag pouches. And the procedure is going to be the exact same amount of dye and same amount of salt, same amount of water as we did the tan. And same's going to go for the green. So I'll go ahead and just roll a montage of me doing that all. I've already dyed some gear with dark green already, so I'll go ahead and save you guys the whole process, and we'll see the results here at the end. All right, and here's the results of all the dyes that we just did. As you can probably read down below, We got dark green right here, we got tan right here, and we got brown right here. And here's kind of some of the gear I've dyed over the years, just as an example. I hope the lighting's okay. I tried to kind of block out everything here so you can see the camouflage pattern a little bit better. But this is kind of my go-to for my AR. Dark green right there on the vest, and of course I've kind of put some brown patches to break up the pattern a little bit. But that's what you get for dark green. And here's some other miscellaneous ACU gear. I believe this is an IFAC pouch. And this is a pretty good contrast, I figured, as well. I put, I would say, a little more dye in this batch, and I put a little bit less in this one. So you can kind of see the deeper green hue, and this one's like a little more grayed out, I suppose. And as an added bonus, here's some ACU that has not been dyed at all, so you can kind of see the transparency there. And this is one of my other rigs also. Again, I'm just kind of showing miscellaneous gear mixed with other patterns as well. But I think the two grenade pouches right there are green and then kind of mixed with some other colors as well. All right, and here's the tan dye. And I think overall I'm most pleasantly surprised by the tan. It looks like the lighter areas of the ACU pattern came out a little more tan and also kind of like a little bit yellowish. And the darker pattern of the ACU looks like it turned out a little more like green, kind of olive drab. But overall it gives kind of like a little more like of a lush yellowish green hue, which would probably be good maybe out in like Tennessee, North Carolina. And just for comparison, we'll do a little side-by-side right next to some undyed ACU. So, pretty cool. And here's the vest. I really like this color. I think I'm going to mix some patches and make a little chest rig build out with this pattern. And last but not least, we've got dark brown. And here's some of the stuff I've dyed over the years with dark brown. Shirt pants. Here's the mag pouches that have come out. And here's the chest rig. And I feel like I have an issue with dark brown. I always add a little too much. So if you want to be on the safe side, go a little bit less on the dark brown. Because if you add too much, it gets super dark and a little bit of pinkish hue to it. So also have Philby here, but I like the way these sustainment pouches have come out. So I think that I kind of put the correct amount here. Actually, good contrast. And of course, like I stated earlier, the mag pouches and the IFAC pouch here are also dark brown. And here it is, compared to the undyed ACU. Anyways, hope you guys found that helpful, entertaining. Hopefully it gave you some ideas of what these colors look and how they can kind of transform ACU, UCP. So anyways, let me know down below if you want me to test any of this stuff out in the field. Maybe next time I go to the range, I can wear some of this stuff and kind of see how it blends in. Kind of like Brent 0331 style or something like that. So anyways, I'm an extremely average man, and right now I gotta go take my dog out and play in the snow. We'll catch you on the next one.
Snowed it, snowed it. Hold on, pal. Ready? All right, go. Ta-da!